Hey everyone, Coach Wharton here with OnlineBikeCoach.com, and today's Moxy Daily Ditty is going to involve a little bit more detail. Let's take a look. I did 2 intervals just to show some stuff, and what we're seeing on this main screen is this is my saturated muscle oxygen at rest and recovery, and then I immediately start my interval, and the thing just drops and drops and drops. Now, you can see that it's hovering in the single digits. And this is something that I've seen a lot lately in the last probably 18 months or so, is high resaturation and very low desaturation. It accompanies, when we throw in the hemoglobin, you can see some scores that are almost at 13. There's a 13.02 right there during the recovery. The THB is not too remarkable other than it was climbing. It did reach a little bit of homeostasis. Here I am on the second interval. Again, it climbed and it reached some homeostasis. Basically, I look at it as adding amps to the power, and honestly, I wasn't really able to sustain this the way I wanted to. Let's go ahead and replace THB with good old-fashioned heart rate, and you can see the typical shark fin. I ended up well into my zone 5 VO2 range and anaerobic range. For me, it's at about a 170 or so, and I got up to about a 178. There's a 179. I think I may have hit a 180. Nope. Okay. And on the second one, there's the 180 right there. When we look at respiration rate, this is interesting. This is where we really want to start paying some more attention to things. This is the Garmin respiration rate right here. This is the alpha HRV respiration rate, which I think actually was a little more accurate. But you can see that right at about the 1 minute mark, 45-second mark, I broke 40 breaths per minute, and I ended up getting all the way up into the 50s. Why is that significant? Because if we can sustain a respiratory rate where we are purging CO2 and getting the acid balance back in play with the hydrogen ions, then it's a little bit more sustainable. This was the intention for this interval was to go into VO2 or to go into anaerobia, and as you can see, I really did. But what's more interesting is you don't see much of a change in SMO2 for the increased strain that's occurring with the heart and the lungs. Let's see, what else have we got here? That is it for this chart. Now, let's take a look at this. This red line, folks, is my VO2. I was wearing the VO2 Master for these 2 intervals, and I got some good data. So we've got SMO2, we've got VO2. That shark fin looks a lot like the heart rate intensity. Same thing with this one. I don't know what the data drop was there, because sometimes it happens with a little bit of a skip breath, things like that, but you can sort of get the trend. We can smooth this out. I think, yeah, there's VO2 over 30 seconds, and it looks a little more linear. But you can see that the demand is pushing the supply, and I was going into high strain because of that. Now, as soon as I shut the engine down, and we'll do that by looking at watts, you can see as soon as I shut the engine down, one of the things we're going to be studying is the rapidity, the velocity of this resaturation, and then of course the value of the max saturation. The guys at Moxy are showing that this gives us an idea of monocarboxylate transporter counts, which is mitochondria, and I am all for it. Anyway, that's a deep dive into something that really is basically showing the Wizard of Oz behind the screen. So what you see is the wizardry, and what I'm always working on is what's the physiology behind the wizardry. So the next time we do intervals, you can get an idea that, hey, you know what, metabolic things are happening. I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and now let's observe it. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the ride.